So this next video is going to be about forgiveness. And forgiveness is a lot easier for some people than it is others. For me, I really, it's hard for me to hold grudges because I can understand and relate with everyone, I feel like, right? I'd say in my life, there are 3 people I don't hate, and I've forgiven them, but I have lost respect. And I feel like that's what we need to interpret it as, and it's easier for me than others. So this is my 2 cents on forgiveness. Forgiveness is very hard because at the end of the day, it's someone has done something to us without, sometimes without reason. And even if they've done it with reason, it's wrong, right? If we have not been able to forgive someone, it's usually because they have done something very wrong. But at the end of the day, not forgiving someone is selfish, right? And I don't mean that lightly, it's prideful. If you are unable to forgive someone, that is going to negatively influence you. That is going to impact your life in a negative direction. Whether or not you want it to, whether or not, it's deserved, I feel like forgiveness is hard to comprehend because we look at the person. We look at how could they do this? How could they do this? And a lot of the time it's impossible, it feels like, because to forgive someone for something we know we didn't deserve is it's mind-blowing because it's not logical. Logically, you should get even. Logically, you should, I did not deserve this. But from a theological and a philosophical level, what do you deserve, right? Do you deserve the place you're at right now? No matter how hard you work, I personally feel like we all deserve to suffer, right? I don't deserve to be working right now in America. No matter how bad it gets, we have access. I can go out and walk door to door and make money. Some places they can't make money. Doesn't matter if they have animals, doesn't matter if they can build houses better than I can. The opportunity we exist in is we should be grateful for. And I think when you are not forgiving someone, you are going to be a lot less grateful in life because no matter how much you make it, no matter how far you push yourself forward, it's not enough because they still have wronged you. And that leaks into every aspect of your life, relationships, work, even relaxing, because when you're not doing anything, you're trying to enjoy something, it sucks the joy out of that thing. And that's really hard to deal with because you didn't deserve it. Logically, on a personal level, you did not deserve it. But on the flip side, the good things in your life you don't deserve either. So why are we hung up on the things that we feel unjust? We want justice. We want this. But I truly believe that the justice itself is that person also living with those actions. Even if they don't realize it in that moment, even if they don't, completely understand it. Oh, got a nice paper cut or grass cut. When someone has done something to you that is unjust, that sticks with them for the rest of their life subconsciously. You got your conscious and subconscious. Your conscious is who you believe yourself to be based on the life you have lived, right? Your interpretation of the world around you. But your subconscious is literal. Your subconscious doesn't get jokes. It doesn't get, it doesn't get like abstract thought. It gets it as plain as day. The things I am saying, you are interpreting through the lens of your own life, what you're going through right now. But your subconscious is hearing this as information, as text, interpreting that into the conscious. So when someone wrongs you and does these things, it affects them as much as it affects you. And I think that is what I've learned to take solidarity in and comfort in, is when someone wrongs me, they're wronging themselves. When you wrong a fellow person, whether, you have the same worldview or not, you are really wronging yourself. And it's a symptom of a deeper issue. And if you see my past video about us being gardens, it's a root. And those weeds, sometimes purposeful and sometimes accidental, spread into other people's lives. If you are not dealing with your issues and you are not taking accountability for the things in your garden, you, unfortunately, are going to spread things negative into other people's lives. And just because you spread it into someone else's life is not relieving you of that negativity, right? Some people, they spread hate because they have received hate. It makes them feel powerful, you know? But at the end of the day, power is not peace. And we all are searching for peace, right? So you have two options. Do you want to feel powerful? People think power is something to obtain, but no, it's a feeling. Power is a temporary relief, a drug, a complex to relieve you of your powerlessness. But at the end of the day, the more you try to power through and show other people your power, and, oh, I'm stronger than you, I'm better than you, you dig yourself a hole. People start to perceive you not as the powerful person you think you are, the pride, the power, but they see you as a weak person, a wounded animal, clawing and trying to escape your powerlessness. So I think with forgiveness, you know, I got a little off topic there, but it all ties in. Forgiveness is a very powerful thing for the person you are forgiving and for the person yourself. And no, for yourself. To forgive is to humble yourself, right? Because if you're not forgiving someone, it's because of pride, right? Because if you truly are humble, you yourself realize you do not deserve forgiveness, you know, for the things you have done purposely and the things you have done accidentally, you know, out of, you know, stupidity, out of pride. So you have to, if you have forgiven yourself for the things, you can easily forgive others. And it's hard because sometimes I know I do not deserve forgiveness. From a logical standpoint, I am unable to be forgived. But you have to think outside of the box with that, because you're thinking logically about something that is illogical. You do not deserve forgiveness, and yet forgiveness exists. Not because we have created forgiveness, but because I believe God has created forgiveness for us. Because God has forgiven me, I now can forgive other people. Because I know I don't deserve it just as much as that person doesn't deserve it. There are people in my life that I deserve to hate. And yet, if I choose to forgive, that is true power. Because peace is power. Forgiveness is power. Not because, oh, I'm so much better, but because I am so much worse. I don't deserve forgiveness, yet that gives me the ability to forgive others. And I want you to think about that, because it's very, very hard to comprehend, because we don't deserve it. That's why we struggle forgiving other people, because we ourselves know we do not deserve forgiveness. And you really have to look deep on that issue, because it's not an other people issue, it's a self issue. Because if you don't feel like you deserve forgiveness for the things you have done, even though you receive it, someone else has done something worse. Someone else has done something way worse, you know? There's always someone worse than you. There's always someone better than you, but we tend to ignore the people who have worked better on themselves, to better themselves, because at the very bottom, we are at the same level, you know? But I want you to recognize that, because if you forgive other people, you will be able to soon forgive yourself and not earn peace. You can't earn it. You can earn respect, you know? You can't really earn forgiveness. You have to accept it. And that's why it's so hard for us to comprehend, because we know we don't deserve it. We know other people don't deserve it. And therefore, we hold on to that. We hold on to that hatred, that spite, that unfairness, unjustness. But life is not fair. For both parties, every situation, life is never fair. You are never going to achieve fairness, because that doesn't exist here. And I want you all to think about that. Have a great day.